What's going on, everybody? It's Crypto Vision here, back again with another crypto market update. Today's video, we're going to be checking out PNG squads, requesting a video, so we're going to dive into this. If you like today's video, hit that like button, subscribe for more, and leave a comment where you're tuning in from. I really appreciate it. So I wasn't going to make videos today, then I got done working out, and I was like, you know what? I'll see if anyone, has any requests, especially because it can be a little nerve-wracking today, so, PNG was on the list, so let's get into it. So, a lot of people are worried that, everything is done, everything is over, this whole market is done. I will say it is, for me not to acknowledge the sentiment, for me not to acknowledge where the market is overall would be, I think it'd be a little bit of ignorance, right? We are in a bearish trend, right? We've been in one for a while. We've been tracking it. We've had levels to the upside that we've tried to get above a couple times, especially through here. I mean, all through here, we tried to get above this level. We tried to get above this level here, right? We've been tracking PNG for a while and, right, couldn't get above either level. And so it's kind of just been a slow grind to the downside, right? I mean, there's been some impulses, like you had an impulse right here. And I guess, right here, it's like a little impulse. But for the most part, right, it's kind of just been, you kind of go sideways, you trickle down. You go sideways. This is a slam down. We're going sideways, kind of another, I wouldn't say a slam down, but definitely downwards movement, right? If I'm thinking, if I'm looking at this chart, I think the low is almost in, if not in at this point. And we'll get into reasons why, but just the overall structure, right? I mean, you got a three-wave move down, right, for your A wave. You got a three-wave move up for your B wave, and you really have a three-wave move down for your C wave. Macro, obviously there's waves within waves, but overall the structure is a clean three-wave pullback. I mean, that's exactly what you want. It's exactly what you want. I mean, it's kind of something like that. Not to the extent, obviously, but this looks like a fourth wave. This really does. This looks like the fourth wave of the fourth wave, and it's just brutal. This whole thing since March, right? Since March. Okay. We had some levels that, we're holding for, there were key areas for a while, for a couple days. Just right in through here, right? Had an area to bounce from, didn't bounce. Right, I'm not using Binance's chart. This is Coinbase, so the low could have been lower, right? Could have been lower. But just from this standpoint, I mean, this thing, it looks completed, right? I mean, it really does. It looks like you have some sort of 1, 2, 3, you have a 4, and then this whole thing is another fifth wave move to the downside, right? I mean, it looks completed. Let's put some levels on here. I did want to look to the left. That's a good area to start where we could find some support, right? Horizontal line. That we come down to right there. We did. Look at that. That's kind of my thought. If a lot of the other cryptos, right, you're trying to take out November lows, close to the November low. This was January, right? February. So, man, this has been going sideways for a long time. Almost, wow, down and sideways for like almost 2 years. Yeah, this thing it's been in a bear market. A lot of people are saying, we've been in a bull market. Altcoins, I don't think have been in a real bull market. All right, so these are the close to the lows for sure. It did bounce off of, previous area of support, right? Previous area of support, kind of an area of resistance. Not to the extent you'd like to see. A little bit, if you're below, you're bearish. Right, I mean, I could even zoom out all the way through. Right, you're bearish all below. Go through there. Right, all bearish. You got above. Now you're bullish, and then you went on this crazy run. Right, once you got above that, I mean, obviously, if you're buying down here, you lucked out a lot. But if you just waited to break out of this line and back test, you still went up 1,100%. So not a bad ROI, right? And this was back in 2023. So, it definitely looks as if this asset has been in a bear market for a while. So let's see overall where this thing has landed, right? Where this thing has actually landed, just from the lows to the highs. All right, let's see where we're at. If it's any significant area. I mean, just from the low to the high. Yeah, I mean, the 618 is at, 5841. That's another area. Is that an area that bounced too? Not particularly, no. But I can move one down. I don't know. That's low. And the market cap's already at 15 million. Like, this thing can't. That's kind of a steep drop for it. That's another like 20% or something, 18%, 19%. So that's a pretty steep, that's a pretty tall order. We can move this up through here. All right, just for one as a gatekeeper. I just don't think that, I don't think we go that low, but I'm gonna have that for the worst case scenario, right? Worst case scenario. If we're looking at this AB situation, this A wave right through here. Let's see if anything lines up. I mean, that 618, dang, that's not ideal. It's not ideal for PNG holders. I'm sorry, but this thing, I mean, yes, it looks like it wants to be done, but nothing has really respected any kind of levels or structure. I'm trying to see. I mean, not a ton of interaction, but maybe a wick down through there. I'm gonna leave that on the chart. Just for now. So we got those two levels to the downside. This can now turn yellow like that. Boom. So you got 3 levels to the upside, 3 levels to the down, or 2 levels to the downside. If overall, right, if we are thinking that this is a 5-wave move to the downside, we're finishing it up. Let's check it out from this point of view. Right, it's almost like a 1-2 is right through here. You could think of a 1-2 through here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Also, I mean, realistically, you could. Or it could be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're gonna measure both. Okay, we're gonna see what aligns with both. Shoot, this could be even the 1, 2 right through here. For this move, yeah, let's do this. Well, if we are using that as the 1, 2, it came up short to the 1618 because that is a fairly large 1, 2. Fairly large 1, 2. If we're coming all the way from up here down to here, fairly large 1, 2. The overall move, I mean, that 5-8 level, that 5, that 5-8, 5-6 level has come up multiple times. I'm gonna move it back. I'm just gonna keep adjusting it to see what we can get to. I mean, you did respect this 786. That's what we're looking at. 786, 618. How did we interact with 618? Rejected it the first time. Came down, blasted through, then back tested 786. That's something that's. I mean, I remember talking about this a while ago. I think it was I think when it was going up, it was through here. But the fact that you got through on the first run, slowed momentum, kind of pulled back. I mean, you pulled back all the way to your 0.5. And then, you tried it again, couldn't get it, and then you got it, right? So I do like that. The one cause for concern is that the low is not in. Right? The low is not in. If this is the case, right? If this is the case, the low is going to be around that 5.8 cents. 5.8 cents area, because it's so oversold. I mean, the entire market is so oversold. It's been oversold for a while. We'll look at the, so I'm going to keep those levels. I think that's a good level for now. I think that's a good level. I've moved it around a couple times. There we go. This is kind of something I would want to see. A little bit more interaction, right, through here. A little bit more touch points through here. Clean rejection. Through here, once you lost it decisively, we're down. You know what I mean? So I don't like it going down there, but I like the the areas of interest that have been shown. In terms of the EMAs, you're below every single EMA, bearish, right? I mean, you're close to the lows in my opinion. I mean, yeah, I mean you did come from all the way. I mean off the all-time low, right? You're still up 500%, but there's not a lot of people selling right now anymore, right? A lot of people that bought down through here, sold up here, and sold up here, maybe even right here too, right? People, I don't think you're really selling. Like if you bought down here, you could have sold up there, probably would have been wise, right? And so a lot of the people who are buying down through here is like this kind of range now, right, where you kind of had this kind of move, kind of like a running flat. That does look like a running flat actually for just the overall structure, right? Overextended B wave, higher low, right? You have a higher low, so a nice little running flat, and then you have a 1-2 setup, right? You have a 3. Where's the 3, 4, 5? 3, 4, 5, something like that. I don't know. Something like that. It could be something like that. There's so many possibilities with this, with crypto, right? I do think this is your overall first wave, right? One, right? So you have like your, your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that. That wouldn't make sense though for a fixed flat though. I mean, still. I mean, you still could have a running flat because you still have a higher low. That actually could work. You just don't have an overextended B, which you don't need one. Right? It could be either or. I do like that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come back for an A, B, C. And now you have like your, I mean, a 1, 2 right there. That's a little 1, 2. I know it's hard to see. Let me get in there. Let me get in there, B. I mean, this whole thing looks like a, this could be your low right here. This could be your C wave right here. Right, so you could have your, dang. Yeah, this does look like a 5th. This looks like A, B, C. That does. That really does. And then maybe like a little 1, 2 right there to get it started. Because that does look corrective. How you're kind of just oscillating down, right? You're oscillating down. 3-wave move up, and then oscillate down, and then go. So yeah, so overall, right, I do think you're in a, this could be your first wave. Right, your first wave, so wave 1. Please draw for me. You have your wave 2. All right, you got your wave 3, your third wave. I mean, that's a very large 4th wave. Right. This is your 4th. Means you got to get a 5th. You don't have to, but that's the idea. That's the idea. I mean, if that's not the idea, then right, then this whole thing, was. I mean, if you're a bull, that's the idea you want. That's the idea you want if it's a bull. If you want to be bullish on this chart. If you want to be bearish on this chart, still with something like this much of a sell-off for this long, I just don't see the continuation. I don't see it. I don't see it. You're at previous areas of support. You've corrected down 92%. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not. This is bottom of the bear market kind of stuff. Bears are the loudest right now too. This is not, yeah, there's going to be a reversal soon. I mean, you got green dots everywhere. We all know how reliable the Fu Manchu can be. You know what I'm saying? Hint, wink, wink. You're oversold on the daily. I mean, you've been oversold on the daily. Do we have... I think we have bearish divergence too. We do have bearish divergence. Bullish divergence. Sorry. Bullish divergence. I'm tripping. Sometimes I'm tripping. Sometimes I trip out. When I look at the charts and I flip things upside down and do things weird. Right? Because you got lower lows. And you got higher lows. Sorry, that was a terrible draw. Right, bullish divergence on the daily, pretty significant. You have all of this in here. Honestly, looks like this, and it looks like this. Looks like this down here. There's a lot of stuff down in there, right? Looks like this. Let's go see what these played out to be. So you had all this in here, just bunch of green dots, red dots down through there, down at the very bottom with bullish divergence. And you ripped. You had one through here. You really didn't do anything, right? You kind of sold off. You were kind of just selling off. I mean, you had like a little pump, but nothing to write home about. Same thing through here, right? Little pump, little pump, little pump. So I mean, a little pump at least, right? Like something to get you going, right? Because you can't just go from 0 to 100 as you see on the charts, right? So I got to get rid of all of these. Definitely oversold. I mean, I'm excited to see. Sorry for, I am the PNG gang, but it's very minuscule in my bag, so it's not anything crazy. I'll put a buy order down here for 5.8, just in case, right? Just in case. But yeah, my main stuff is XLM and Chainlink. But overall, right, this is not. No, that is not bullish. That's just regular divergence. All right, regular. But I mean, you're just so oversold. You had strong bullish divergence through here. You had a golden dot. You still got lower. Same thing through right here. I mean, you did go on a run. Sorry for being so zoomed out. I just got to be able to see the charts. 50% pump. All right, down through here, golden. This was a nice little pump. 116%. I just feel like at this point of crypto's life cycle of whatever we're in, and I've always been an advocate, and I've done it so I can claim to speak on it and have a clear mind on it. I am pro taking profits, right? I'm not a financial advisor. This isn't financial advice. I am pro taking profits at certain areas of resistance. One, you're up. Right, when you're up, even if you're up 1%, right, take something off the table, de-risk, and then wait for a pullback. Right, it's a win-win. You're not. I don't sell everything when levels get met. I sell percentages. 15, 20, 25%, and then if it goes up, you still have a portion of your bag. If it goes down, you've de-risked. You've taken some off the table. You can reinvest. You can wait. You can sell 50%. You can sell 75%. Whatever it is. Like for instance, right? For instance, I don't have a 1-2 to go off of. Let's just be real, right? There's no 1-2. There's nothing to even measure right now. There's really not. I mean, I guess I can't even use this whole thing as a 1-2. I really can't. I mean, I could use this daily, I guess, right? I could use this daily for like a 3-4, I guess. And just for an example, let's just use it as an example. I mean, look at those levels way up there. That is insane. That is insane. I mean, the prospect is nice, but here's the thing. We get up to 25 cents. Maybe an area to take some off the table. right? Maybe, right? Because you can run up and then flag out and then come back down and then go. That's what happens, right? You don't just go straight up. You go up and you flag out and then you run. Maybe up through here if you're a little bit more risky, right? And just to give you a perspective, right? That would be, and I come from traditional stock market, so I know that my expectation is less than the crypto and those that have been invested in the crypto world. But 280% is nothing to scoff at. 450% is nothing to scoff at. And so, that's kind of my mindset moving forward now. And it's kind of been my mindset, but it's been solidified through everything that crypto has gone through the past couple of months. That taking profits early is definitely going to be a priority for me. I don't care if it goes up 100% after I take profits. I'll still be in, but it's going to be at a lesser extent, right? The fact that, so overall, right, if we go to the weekly, let's close out on this, right? Let's close on to this. I don't think PNG is going to go to zero. I just don't, not yet, at least not yet. I believe that the macro is going to get better. Right now you have the government shutdown. You have fear and uncertainty of, what's going on with China and this and that. There is things that market makers are using to manipulate retail, to manipulate the masses. Most people are wrong most of the time and lose most of their money. And so most are bearish right now. If you go on crypto Twitter, it's bearish, right? The sentiment is bad. People are calling for bear market without actually looking at the charts, right? So PNG, I do think, is at a nice area to bounce from. I wouldn't be shocked if it bounced from here. I wouldn't be shocked. The overall structure looks completed, at least to the downside, right? I mean, at least to the downside. This could just be an A wave. This is on the weekly, right? This is on the weekly. We could just get a retracement. And then you go down, and then you go down like that. That could be what happens, and that's my logic on taking profits early, right? Because this could be an A wave, right? This isn't even the most scary part down here, if I'm being honest. Right? The worst part is when you get up to here, like right here, like right around here. I'm guessing I'll put a fib on here, right around here. And people are going to be saying, you're going to the moon, you're doing this, you're doing this. Well, if you have 3 waves up, you're at a high risk of being in a B wave. High risk. And then you're going to come down and take out these lows. And this is going to be max pain. This is going to be slow, and it's going to go over probably a couple months, maybe a year, just like this one, right? Maybe come back down and then go. Honest. I mean, that's worst case scenario. And let's put some fibs up just to, right? I mean, I actually want to see what the retracement level is from this. Right there, 31 cents. 31 cents. I can put one up there. Are these on the daily? I always get confused. I'll put one up there just on the weekly. All right, 31 cents. So I do think we're going to come back to this level, and this is the pivot level. All right, that's the pivot level. You come back up through this, right? I mean, we could be in a super bullish environment, but if I'm not a financial advisor, but if I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do, I'm going to take some off the table of PNG right there. That's just what I'm going to do. I don't really care what other people think. It's up 300%. You're at an area where you can reject and find new lows. With the amount of manipulation that's been going on, I don't think it's a bad idea. I don't think it's a bad strategy. And then, if you break out, right, if you do this, right, 1, 2, 3, and then you kind of flag out, and then it's a fake out and you go, like, I'm happy. Either way, happy. So that's what I got for PNG, right? It's pretty bleak right now. I mean, you've got crosses. All right, you got this cross right through here. It's kind of been waiting on that one for a while. It's the first time it's ever happened, so I don't think PNG is absolutely toasted yet, but it being a $15 million market cap, we're trending towards the lows of a possible A wave on the fourth wave. I would expect a large bounce. You know, as I said, this area through here, be cautious of, making sure that you don't reject it and then find new lows. So that's what I got for PNG. I really hope you enjoyed the video. I hope that these videos help, especially days like this where it freaking sucks to be a crypto investor. I mean, let's just call it as it is. But, you know, just hold it, hang in there. Know that these levels, that there's still a big level of support to the downside. And that an area that we could possibly visit just based on a couple of Fibonacci levels and then previous history. So, as always, thank you for stopping by. Have a great rest of your day. Take it easy. Peace.